And if you're concerned about this situation at all, one place you might go is crypto. Well, now they're trying to shut down all of the crypto on-off ramps. And they've shut down Silvergate. They're making it virtually impossible for Signature to bank crypto folks. And so not only have they created this situation of insolvency, they're also blocking the exits and making it so that you really can't get in or out via crypto.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, Bitcoin is currently sort of stalling out at this area, right? We got up to about 28,900 and we're down about $1,000, kind of just consolidating sideways. Now, there are a few things in the charts I do want to go over. One thing a little bit concerning, nothing too crazy, but there is something even bigger than just the simple Bitcoin price action. You've been hearing Balaji talking about Operation Choke Point 2.0, get out of the banks, get into crypto. Are these banking collapses actually going to truly push people into crypto, or is it just a narrative that's sort of being pushed? Well, guys, we are about to literally potentially, if this is true, there is a rumor that is circulating right now, and it is historic if it is actually true. Like, I'm talking literally groundbreaking. It could change everything, not just for Bitcoin, but for the United States, for the world as a whole. Absolutely crazy. So I do want to talk about that. And I also want to discuss a major shift that is about to happen, and you need to be ready for this. You need to be prepared. Now, obviously, Balaji thinks we're going to go all the way up to maybe potentially $1 million or something like that, but more realistically speaking, could Bitcoin actually be setting up for a $60,000 price target in the very near future? So lots of stuff to go over today. Trust me, guys, you're going to want to sit this one all the way to the end. Lots of content. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. Let's dive in. Let's have a look super quick with these charts. So we still, even though Bitcoin does keep, getting hit at the top right here, you could almost argue that, depending on where you want to start the triangle, this is a bit of an ascending triangle pattern, I guess, maybe potentially, depending on how you look at it. It is on a lower time frame though, so I wouldn't really take it that seriously, but we are putting in higher lows, right? And why is this area so significant? Well, if I just switch to the daily and zoom out here, you can see that this area where we're actually being stuck right here at, if we go back over here, you can see that it was this support, right? Support, 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 lots of support for multiple days, and then we fell through it. Right now, it's acting as the resistance, right? Same thing, previous support is resistance, resistance, support. You guys know how it goes, right? When you're going down, that's your support. When you're going up, that's your resistance. So we got to break through that. And if we could break through that, the next target, believe it or not, guys, is up at around $32,600. Now, obviously, we are hitting a very, very important area, right? This was the major support of this entire area right here, between that and 32, like I said. So it wouldn't be impossible, if we did have a pullback. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have a pullback. I don't really know what's going on right now, especially with everything, with the bank run and this crazy $1 million Bitcoin bet. But what I will tell you guys is, nevertheless, even if we do have to retest this pivot down here at around 25.3, you could still see that we are putting in an uptrend, right? And honestly, if you want to be like really crazy, we could fall all the way back down here to honestly the low 19,000s. And we would still be putting in an uptrend, right? So as long as we're putting in higher highs and higher lows, then I still consider this move to be intact. And of course, like I said, guys, we are waiting to see what happens next week if we get this red money flow moving into the green. And again, I want to see this neutral band on the guppy. So that's essentially what we're looking for. Kind of just in no man's land right now, waiting to see what happens. But make sure you guys get subscribed, because as soon as I see something on these indicators, I will let you know. And if you do want to learn how to trade these opportunities, make sure that you check the links below in the description. There's $52,000 actually in bonus, 30,000 specifically on Bybit. They're doing a really big thing right now. But having a look right here, if you look at the CBBI historical chart, and this basically takes a bunch of indicators, like you could see, you can, move them out. Like I could take this one off and you see how it changed. So a whole bunch, we have, pi cycle, moving average, Puel multiple, all these different things. And I mean, you can see that the percentages are relatively low. So what does this mean when these you have the, this one's 58, this one's 53, our HODL 0. So basically the lower these percentages are, the more the closer we are to a bottom, essentially, and the higher the numbers are, the closer we are to a top, right? And you can actually see right here, when we look at this, when you see this coming up all the way up here to the top, like once you get up to about 99, that's when you know that we are getting relatively overheated. And I mean, if you just have a look at where we are right now, we're really only at a total score of about 23. Right? So I still think that there is a lot more room for growth. Like Bitcoin really could actually go on a super cycle. And if you guys didn't see this, I did put this out the other day, but Kevin Svensson, I'm going to play this video again, was talking about a parabolic curve and how we could actually see Bitcoin potentially hit $60,000 relatively soon.
Bitcoin from 15,500 at the beginning of the year to where we are now currently at 28,200. Bitcoin has created 2 bases of support, and possibly we're about to create base 3. Why is that important? Well, if you look at the parabolic diagram, it suggests after 3 bases of support being created within the parabola, the stock price then doubles, or in this case, the crypto price then doubles after base 3. Guys, this means we have a possible base being created around 30,000 and then double to 60, according to the textbook.
And the craziest thing too is all this FUD that's going on, everything that's happening, we've seen banks collapsing, we've seen the Bitcoin price increasing 40% since SVB's collapse, and the hash rate, as you guys can see right here, if I zoom in, has officially hit an all-time high. Look at this right here, guys. As I am making this video, the Bitcoin hash rate officially just hit an all-time high, making it the most secure that it has ever been. Kind of interesting considering everything that's going on right now. Just saying, Bitcoin continues to do its own thing. Oh, but guess what? Another bank, Deutsche Bank shares fell 14%, creating market panic across Europe. But guess what? Earlier this week, Germany's DWP Bank actually announced that they're going to offer Bitcoin trading services to their 1,200 affiliates. Interesting. Now, this is going to lead into a really big story in a minute, but like Sven Henrik pointed out, guess who just borrowed nearly $500 billion in just 2 weeks? That's right, guys, the commercial banks. Nothing seems weird about this, right? Totally normal. Just because they're not saying that they're turning on the money printers, they're hiding it. They're disguising it in different ways. Just like they changed the definition of a recession, just like they changed the FDIC rules halfway through to, bail out their big buddies. And, over on this overpriced JPEGs, they were actually discussing the situation that could be unfolding. Now, if you're not up to speed on everything and you haven't been watching these videos, I thought they explained it pretty well. So I'm just going to play this clip for you super quick. And then we're going to talk about something insane right now and why I think that we are about to witness a historical moment that will literally change the course of history forever. I'm not kidding, guys. Stick around.
Silicon Valley Bank was just the tip of the iceberg. All US banks are insolvent. And I think that's essentially true, right? Like all these banks put a lot of money into treasury bonds. And then when interest rates were severely hiked, all of that is underwater if you were to market to market. The Fed is covering this up. And they're covering it up by printing ungodly sums of money. I mean, they're, going on a printing tear both to backstop the banks and printing a ton of money in order to inflate away their debts because we're in so much debt. And if you're concerned about this situation at all, one place you might go is crypto. Well, now they're trying to shut down all of the crypto on-off ramps. And they've shut down Silvergate. They're making it virtually impossible for Signature to bank crypto folks. And so not only have they created this situation of insolvency, they're also blocking the exits and making it so that you really can't get in or out via crypto. And then the kind of last piece of this is in 3 months or however many months, at some point this summer, it sounds like they're going to introduce a CBDC, which is some version of an answer to this whole situation that they've created, but will also give the government a tremendous amount of control and power and ability to blacklist and censor because they now control the flows of money in a way that, if you have cash, they don't know what you're doing with that cash. If you are only operating on a CBDC system, they know exactly what you spent money on and they can do all sorts of blacklisting things. And so get your money into crypto now and get it out of sort of centralized exchanges while you still can.
So this brings us essentially to the 10th Amendment. Now, if you haven't read the Constitution, although I don't know how many people have actually read the Constitution, but for those who don't know, the 10th Amendment essentially says the powers not delegated to the U.S. by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the Senate are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. So this is where Balaji sort of speaks about going to these crypto-friendly jurisdictions, right? And the states could have the potential to take matters into their own hands. And this brings us back to our good old friend, Kathy Wood over at ARK. She was on the channel yesterday on the video, and you could see that these are the rumors right now circulating. Absolutely mind-blowing.
There are rumors, I don't know if they're true. There are rumors that Governor DeSantis is going to work with the banking system in Florida, the state-regulated banking part of the system, and open them up more to crypto. Just like with your book, as we know from your book, taxes have consequences. If he were to do something like that, or any other government, then I think you would see a huge migration of the crypto digital asset world into Florida and into Florida banks.
I think you're totally right.
So again, guys, the 10th Amendment, is it possible? Could they create their own system? Could they get out of the ACH wire, all that stuff, and not do the CBDCs and have their own types of payments? I mean, we know that Bitcoin is very popular. I mean, like they have the Bitcoin Miami conference, the Mayor Suarez, right? He's pro Bitcoin. You have Ron DeSantis saying, screw CBDCs, looking to potentially make Florida, a crypto hub, right? So really big stuff. And it's not just, the politics that we're looking at. You have the CEO of the $12 billion financial advisory firm DeVere Group, Nigel Green. Now, why should he care? He doesn't care. This guy's got tons of money, right? Well, he says that investors are in fact seeking alternatives like Bitcoin and crypto as the US enters a new era of quantitative easing. Even though they don't want to call it that, they want to pretend like it's not going on. They're going to pretend like they're going to raise the rates forever. Come on, guys, let's be honest. In a blog post, he says that the U.S. Treasury's actions after the fall of Silicon Valley Bank represent a new wave of money printing and financial stimulus that has investors looking at ways to preserve their capital. According to Green, the global banking crisis poses a major threat to financial stability and represents a historic moment for the flagship crypto asset. Due to the imminent financial stability risks, we now forecast that the Fed will pause its aggressive rate hiking agenda, which of course is bullish for Bitcoin. Reduced interest rates make borrowing cheaper, which can lead to a hike in spending and investment, as well as higher demand for Bitcoin, as investors seek alternatives with the potential for higher returns. Indeed, the fallout from the latest banking crisis seems to serve as a launching point for a larger objective for the world's largest crypto. It's a historical springboard event. Guys, I don't think you understand. Maybe you do understand, maybe you don't understand. It's one thing to be a moon boy, right? It's one thing to just be like a permabull, but it's another thing to actually realize that literally the reason that Bitcoin was created and invented may actually be the reason that people flock to it for real. Like, we're seeing this unfold globally. This is insane. We're seeing the BRICS nations basically coming out and saying, we don't need the dollar anymore. Why do we need to use the dollar, right? The world is connected now by the internet. Things move at the speed of light. We don't need your dollar. We can use other things. We can create a basket of our own currencies. And actually, this is from Balaji. He says history tells us that investors tend to flock into dollar-denominated assets during times of stress. No, take a longer historical, and this is going back to the 1400s, right? Look at this. People exit devaluing currencies. That's the key difference versus 2008. USD is no longer too big to fail. Hope what comes next is Bitcoin and not RMB. So, as you guys can see right here, this sort of just really puts, I don't know the specific currencies of like whatever, but most of these don't last more than, I think it's like 300 to 350 years. And the US is pretty much right at that level. We're right at that area. So, moving on right here, here's the thing. You're seeing the pushback. It's actually amazing because I remember when I first got into cryptocurrency, like literally years ago, nobody was supporting it. No one, like no politicians were supporting it. Everyone was kind of against it and they thought it was just some like dark net thing that people were using to avoid, circumvent stuff. I don't even want to like say the words. on this video. And now Wyoming's crypto queen, Senator Cynthia Lummis, advocates for fair use crypto regulations. They are pushing back. We have Florida. We have Wyoming. Look at this, guys. Texas Senator Ted Cruz introducing an anti-CBDC bill. Reintroducing legislation to the Senate would prohibit a direct-to-consumer Federal Reserve-issued CBDC. The trend was seemingly kicked off by the introduction of Congressman Tom Emmer's CBDC Anti-Surveillance Act that was followed by South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's decision to veto House Bill 1193, which adopts a definition of money to specifically exclude cryptocurrencies. And subsequent to this, of course, like we reported previously, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis held a press conference in which he stood at a podium labeled Big Brother's Digital Dollar, proclaiming that Florida shall be a CBDC-free state. And of course, potentially they're going to start their own system. So crazy times, man. This is like one of those moments that you never thought you would live through, and it's happening, right? Billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper believes businesses should hold at least 2 payrolls worth of cash in Bitcoin or other cryptos. He said businesses need to diversify and decentralize to remain sustainable in the current economic conditions. Such bank collapses will become more likely if governments continue overprinting money and whipsawing the interest rate to contend with the resulting inflation. Bitcoin is a hedge against a domino run on the banks and a poor over-controlling governance. But nevertheless, guys, potentially some justice maybe has been served as Do Kwon has officially been taken in. So yeah, that was really crappy. I mean, Terra Luna was really kind of the thing that kicked off the whole contagion in the crypto space. I mean, it was basically just one tumbling domino after that. Of course, FTX was doing their stuff in the background anyway. But, just kind of ending on some crypto news, if you guys don't really know what's been going on, well, before it was revealed that Gensler's SEC had issued Coinbase a well notice, the regulator charged Justin Sun of Tron and 3 of his companies, including Tron Foundation, for unregistered offer and sale of 2 crypto asset securities. Sun's companies, Tron Foundation, BitTorrent Foundation, and Rainberry, allegedly offered and sold Tronix and BitTorrent as investments through multiple unregistered bounty programs. The SEC also accused Sun of violating federal security laws. The regulator alleges he conducted a scheme to artificially inflate the trading volume of TRX token it's a coin, in the secondary market. The regulator also accused 8 celebrities of violating security laws in touting relations. So they charged all of these guys $400,000 in fines. Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, Austin Mahone, Soulja Boy, and DeAndre Cortez Way. Cortez and Mahone said that they're not going to pay, or they don't want to pay. Everybody else just said, okay, we're going to pay, not admitting or denying, but just saying, screw it, right? Welcome to the US, right? Just pay the fine and kind of walk away. So, that's also one of those things where, a lot of people ask me why I don't talk about altcoins too much on this channel. Not that I'm like a celebrity like these guys, but it's because of crap like this. Like literally, because like people will do something and then they'll lose their money or whatever. And then, it blows up and they come after you. So yeah, I am careful about the things that I speak about on this channel. But at the end of the day, guys, regardless of what happens, I saw this thing about FTX and all these people, there's like $1 billion lawsuit now against all these guys like Graham Stephan and, BitBoy's on there too, which I'm pretty sure not to take his side. I don't recall him promoting it. I mean, he did say something about a token once, but about like whatever. But anyway, it doesn't matter what you guys think. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're following Graham Stephan or BitBoy or whoever or me or these other guys. You have to take your responsibility into your own hands. I mean, come on, we're all grown adults here. If you're going to be buying cryptocurrencies and doing things with crypto and you lose your money, it's literally your fault, right? You shouldn't listen to anybody blindly. And whether or not you trust me or you trust whatever, we're all just guys on the internet, right? Nobody really knows what they're talking about. We're navigating this space together. So it's kind of like my little rant at the end of the video. Please be safe out there, guys. Take responsibility into your own hands. Never risk more than you can afford to lose. Yada, yada, yada. Get your coins off an exchange if you're not trading. You guys know how that is. But yeah, that's it for me. So that was my little motivational speech for you guys. Basically, take matters into your own hands and put on the big boy pants or the big girl pants or the big person pants, whatever you guys want to call it. So here we go. We're coming up here. Basically, in a nutshell, we need to break above $28,600. If we don't, then I think we are going to come down. I think we're going to fall all the way back down and retest around 25,146, right? Of course, we did have another gap, but we'll talk about why I'm not totally convinced on that gap just yet. The only thing that I don't like, and I am going to end on this one thing. This is the one reason why I would just be careful. I don't like when charts do this, personally. Do you see how, like, we're starting to get, like, this rounded kind of curve? Like, you see how it's, like, rounding like that? I don't know what it is. Maybe this is, like, a specific thing. This is literally just from being in crypto and just looking at the charts for a while. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we pump. But usually when you see this type of a rounded, like perfectly rounded, it starts to kind of show that there's a bit of weakness. But again, historically, you know, this is just what I've noticed. It doesn't mean that we have to drop come Monday. I hope I'm wrong. This is not technical trading. It's just something I've noticed. Those rounded tops, they tend to kind of, I mean, even if you go all the way, let's go back actually to the weekly here. You know, I mean, look at this, guys. This was a rounded top right here. See? Like that, if you kind of look at it. So I don't know, not saying it's going to happen, not trying to freak anyone out, just saying be careful out there. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Bitcoin goes to $1 million. That'd be freaking awesome. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Remember, if you guys do want to learn how to trade on a decentralized exchange, keep your money safe, I do recommend Apex Pro. Yeah, I have a tutorial on it, and they are actually, I believe they are doing some kind of a bonus. I don't remember. It's something like, I'll give you guys the info tomorrow. It's like they're picking random people and giving them like money or something. Like, I don't know what it is. I'll let you guys know what it is tomorrow. I just heard that Apex was doing this thing. I will literally let you know what that is tomorrow. I just can't remember. It's some type of a $40 or $400 thing, airdrop. I don't know. Let me know. Maybe you guys know about it. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos in the first place. If you do want to learn how to trade, check out the tutorial popping up right here, right now. Get subscribed. It's going to be crazy, guys. Crazy week up and coming. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.